Hey everyone, Luke Dog here, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins, where we're in the city of Denerim. So let's go see if we can get any side quests.
All men are the work of our Maker's hands, from the lowest slaves to the highest kings. Those who bring ham without provocation to the least of his children are breaded and accursed by the Maker.
Those who bring ham? And the Maker does not bread sinners.
Oh, would you stop correcting me? I know the chant like the back of my hand. The one who repents, who has faith unshaken by the darkness of the world, and roasts not, nor gloats over the misfortunes of the weak, but takes delight in the Maker's law and creations.
Boasts. It's boasts, sister, not roasts.
She shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction. The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next.
Peace, sister, peace. She shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction.
The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker shall be her beacon and her shield, her foundation and her...
There's no veal in the chant. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you?
Suddenly I'm getting kind of hungry. Maybe I should come back later?
I'm sorry, dear. It's nearly mealtime, but I have a few minutes I can spare. What can I do for you?
What are you doing?
Praying for the good people of Denerim who've lost loved ones at Ostagar. It's usual to recite a stanza from Transfigurations when you pray for the departed.
It's usual to recite the stanza correctly.
But that's what I said.
I don't remember the chant having any passages about bacon.
Andraste, deliver us. If her grace were to hear this...
I wouldn't mess up the words if you wouldn't keep interrupting me. Grand Cleric Elomena understands the importance of concentration, you know.
Her grace, may the Maker bless her heart, lost her hearing 20 years ago. If she doesn't catch your blasphemous mistakes, it's because she didn't hear them.
Can you tell me about the chant?
Tell you about the chant? What? As if it's a cake you might buy? Well, it's done enough, but a little too much nutmeg for my taste.
Sister, instructing the ignorant is a sacred duty of the chantry.
Fine, then. What do you want to know?
What was that verse you were reciting just now?
It's the 10th stanza from the Transfigurations. Lovely canticle, that one. Oh, you should have heard Brother Caedmon sing it, though.
He sang it well, I take it.
He had a voice like a bucket full of toads. Revered Mother Boanne, bless her heart, always said, if we had more voices like his, the Maker couldn't fail to take note of us.
What happened to him?
It was tragic, really. Such a surprise.
We don't speak of that.
He died?
He was in charge of the Lyrium storehouse. It wasn't good for him, you see. He took off all his clothes in the middle of the chant one summer day and ran into the street. He tripped and fell into the vat of elderberry wine for the feast and drowned. We were 6 days drying him out for his cremation. He looked like a pickled egg. So tragic.
Now that's a way to go. What does the chant say about Darkspawn?
Oh, there are some very stirring canticles about doom and wrath.
Darkspawn were created by mankind's second sin, pride. Arrogance became a great caged beast in the lands of Tevinter, an emptiness that consumed all and could never be filled. To satisfy its hunger, the Mage Lords assaulted the Golden City, heart of all creation, to take the Maker's power for themselves.
Why does no one ever sing the good stanzas during chantry services anymore? They speak them. It's called the chant of light, not the speech of light.
Sister, would you kindly stop messing up the chant?
See how you like being interrupted.
Well, you get the general idea, I'm sure.
Never mind.
It is almost mealtime, isn't it?
Blessings of the Maker and of Andraste, his bride, upon you.
Thank you. The Chant of Light, Redemption. Many are those who wander in sin, despairing that they are lost forever. But the one who repents, who has faith unshaken by the darkness of the world, and boasts not, nor gloats over the misfortunes of the weak, but takes delight in the Maker's law and creations, she shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction. The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next. For she who trusts in the Maker, fire is her water. As the moth sees light and goes toward flame, she should see fire and go toward light. The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker shall be her beacon and her shield, her foundation and her sword. Oh, is there something back here? Nope. Just pumpkins.
As there is but one world, one life, one...
What do we got here? Eliminate the criminals preying on the innocent folk in Denerim's back alleys. In these dark times, we must work together against the common threat. Sergeant Kylon has brought disturbing news that should anger all righteous people. In our alleyways, footpads, muggers, and miscreants lie in wait to profit from the chaos of our times. They infect us like a plague. A reward is available for any information on these lowlives. Sergeant Kylon has also offered a heavy purse for any brave souls that can best these brigands and make Denerim a safe place once again. This humble chanter has added to the reward as well. May the Maker bless all who heed this call. Recently, our hearts were lifted when many survivors of the Battle of Ostagar returned to us. Maker bless these men and women, and have mercy on those who fell defending our children from the Blight. Sadly, one of these heroes has gone missing. Rexel served in Teyrn Logain's vanguard with distinction. Upon his return, his wife said he was prone to quiet reflection and frequently the local taverns. One afternoon, he left his home and never returned. This chanter was moved by the family's grief and is offering a pouch of coin for anyone who finds this hero. The chant says, "In saving one man, you save us all. For if each of us leads a hand to aid his neighbor, anything is possible, especially now." Master Fazl of the esteemed Guild of Free Sailors has informed this chanter that while about guild business, he was waylaid by bandits via guile and other chicanery. He lost many valuables, but in particular, an antique sextant was removed forcibly from his person. This sextant is of considerable symbolic value as it belongs to the first guildmaster of the Free Sailors. Master Fazl described his assailants as masked, of foreign descent, possibly Tevinter or Free Marches, and unusually coordinated and crafty. He has placed a hefty sum of coin with this chanter for the return of his sextant. That is all. Brothers and sisters, word has arrived of an imminent conflict. Teyrn Logain's honored forces continue to root out threats to our nation, and their action deserves support from the common people. While it is unusual to post troop movements to the public board, I believe it is necessary for brethren near the affected area to respect the honored Teyrn by aiding his troops. Provide whatever comfort you feel they deserve, and Ferelden will be the stronger for it. Treat these brave soldiers as you would treat Logain himself, and the spiritual rewards will be generous. Sister Rana has heard reports of an imminent tragedy. A runner has brought me dire news of a group of refugees fleeing the Darkspawn. They have been cornered in unfamiliar ground, fighting for their lives. The Templars are necessarily occupied, and my own means are few and stretched. If someone of skill has the ability to deliver these people, I can only offer the honest gratitude of myself and of the Chantry. Hopefully that will be enough for the rare person we need. A runner sends this request from Knight Commander Thames. While the reports I have heard no doubt suffer from exaggeration, the observed creatures assaulting Redcliffe trouble me greatly. If we are to properly combat these unnatural agents and prevent their reoccurrence, the mages bound to my service will require carefully prepared samples of flesh for study. Therefore, should a deployment occur, we will be well briefed. If there are skilled warriors present, I would have them gather samples from any remaining creatures as close to the presumed source as possible. The Chantry will reward these basic assistance with spiritual acknowledgement. If the request is exceeded, gold will be added, but the offer is limited.
There is but one God.
Okay. Go to the region marked on your map to see if there is anyone left to rescue from the Darkspawn invaders. Return 9 samples of corpse gall to the Chancellor's board for the Templars to study. Return 18 at once to receive an additional payment. The Chantry has unwittingly provided an opportunity to disrupt the plans of the traitorous Loghain. Head to the location marked on your map and intercept his forces. Eliminate the criminals preying on innocent folk in Denerim's back alleys. Sergeant Kylan put a posting on the Chancellor's board to find and eliminate an organized group of thieves that operate out of the back alleys. On the Chancellor's board, there is a quest to find a missing Ostagar veteran named Rexel. The details of his disappearance are too vague to provide any specific leads, but you should keep an eye out for him during your travels in Denerim. From the Chancellor's board, you learn that Master Fazil of the Guild of Free Sailors was robbed by foreigners. Besides money, the robbers took a sextant, which is apparently important to his guild. He's offered a reward for the return of his sextant.
And he is our maker. They are sinners who have given their lives to false gods.
In the name of Andraste, Bride of the Maker, be welcome in this house. While the cathedral is closed, if you need to make wedding or funeral arrangements, you'll have to talk to Sister Olma.
Did someone die? I remember a funeral.
King Kaelin died, remember? Along with most of the army at Ostagar? Maker guide them all.
Why is the cathedral closed?
That which you fear, living in the shadow of death alone, I have seen it is only a cloud passing before the sun.
The death toll at Ostagar was staggering. We've had a funeral every day for a lost son or daughter of Denerim, and we've many more yet to hold.
What's wrong with your friend?
Are they singing the chant now? It's a funeral, isn't it?
He should have retired to Val Royeaux years ago, but he wanted to stay and serve the remainder of his days in his homeland. It's the lyrium that does this.
Lyrium did this to him? Why doesn't he stop taking it?
He wouldn't be a Templar anymore.
Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter.
He doesn't forget who he is, even if he can't remember anything else.
I'll come back later.
May the light of the Maker guide your steps.
Often portrayed as stoic and grim, the Order of Templars was created as the martial arm of the Chantry. Armed with the ability to dispel and resist magic in addition to their formidable combat talents, the Templars are uniquely qualified to act as both a foil for apostates, mages who refuse to submit to the authority of the Circle, and a first line of defense against the dark powers of blood mages and abominations. While mages often resent the Templars as symbols of the Chantry's control over magic, the people of Thedas see them as saviors and holy warriors, champions of all that is good, armed with piety enough to protect the world from the ravages of foul magic. In reality, the Chantry's militant arm looks first for skilled warriors with unshakable faith in the Maker, with a flawless moral center as a secondary concern. Templars must carry out their duty with an emotional distance, and the Order of Templars prefers soldiers with religious fervor and absolute loyalty over paragons of virtue who might question orders when it comes time to make difficult choices. The Templars' power derives from the substance lyrium, a mineral believed to be the raw element of creation. While mages use lyrium in their arcane spells and rituals, Templars ingest the primordial material to enhance their abilities to resist and dispel magic. Lyrium use is regulated by the Chantry, but some Templars suffer from lyrium addiction, the effects of which include paranoia, obsession, and dementia. Templars knowingly submit themselves to this treatment in the service of the Order and the Maker. It is this sense of ruthless piety that most frightens mages when they draw the Templars' attention. When the Templars are sent to eliminate a possible blood mage, there is no reasoning with them, and if the Templars are prepared, the mage's magic is all but useless. Driven by their faith, the Templars are one of the most feared and respected forces in Thedas. Okay then.
Strange that matters can be so tumultuous and yet the day still be so bright. Oh, my pardon. Just thinking aloud. Are you here for the Chanter's Board?
Who are you?
I am Sister Justine, curator of the reliquary of this chantry. And pride again. It is hard to live up to the example of Andraste.
What's the curator do?
The archivist tends the books, and I tend the sacred relics. I also search for more to add to our collection, which is more difficult than it sounds.
What's so hard about that?
A hawker on the street will claim to have an actual finger bone of Andraste. In this city alone, you could make the skeleton of 10 prophets from fingers alone. Curators often accept them as genuine. I worry about the authenticity of even our most holy artifacts.
How difficult is it to verify an artifact?
When I was a curator of a much smaller chantry in Orlais, I thought that false relics slipped through because of laziness. But the life of the cloth is never an easy one, and that explanation always seemed hollow to me. Now I believe it's the seduction of the divine. We all want a personal connection to the Maker. We want to believe that what we hold in our hands is the actual sandal that slipped from Andraste's foot before the fires consumed her. Faith is of the heart, not of the head. When the heart is ungoverned by reason, charlatans have powerful tools to deceive.
Balancing faith and reason is difficult, though.
And often close to heretical. But I believe that the truth only increases the awe of the Maker and his prophet, not demean it. Even false symbols have the power to inspire, but it seems every year we fall more out of touch with the real Andraste.
Do you think the Urn of Sacred Ashes is real?
Certainly. My research indicates that all of the ashes were gathered into a pot or urn, but it's been lost for centuries. That doesn't stop hawkers from selling pinches of the ashes of Andraste to gullible pilgrims. The real ashes may still be hidden somewhere, though it's possible the urn broke.
How many real relics have you found?
Well, there's one that might be real. I couldn't prove it wasn't. Perhaps you can understand my skepticism. So many claims, so few truths.
Could you tell me about your job?
You've shown admirable patience listening to my diatribe before. I will not bore you again. Suffice it to say, I look for and authenticate holy relics for the chantry.
I've got to go. Farewell.
Of course, enjoy your visit to the chantry.
As there is but one world, one life, one death, there is...
You're the Grey Warden, aren't you? Exactly who I was hoping to meet. I represent a collective of mages interested in going about their lives without the constant scrutiny of the chantry.
Tell me more.
The collective is a self-policing guild of mages who simply want to be left alone. We mean no offense to the chantry, but we would rather live on our own terms. Next to me, and in every major settlement, you will find an inconspicuous sack containing requests from mages all over the land who need the assistance of someone skillful and discreet.
I'll take a look.
Thank you, my friend. We have agents in every major settlement to reward you for work done on behalf of the collective. Makers smile upon you.
Despite the loyalists' grasp of the mages' political community, many libertarians and equitarians have begun to see eye to eye with respect for the chantry's role in a mage's daily life. A growing number of mages, particularly those whose magic never strays from the Maker's mandate, feel that the chantry's constant oversight is a burden upon their creativity and their very will, and one that hinders their abilities to do their work. These mages, along with a number of hedge wizards who work their arts outside the chantry's influence, have formed a shadow guild of sorts, a mages collective, wherein members can submit requests and have them seen to without judgment. This collective manages to work in relative secrecy, their members discreet and their clients anonymous. As of yet, this collective has seen no sanction from the Templars, and there have been no sign that its members are practicing magic of which the Maker would not approve. Still, practicing magic outside of the influence of the Chantry is a dream for some and a dangerous notion for others, and many believe that it is only a matter of time before the veil of secrecy is lifted and the Mages Collective is brought to swift and brutal justice. So what do you got? While they tend to be careful and judicious in their use of force, the Templars do indeed make mistakes. I understand that several relatives of our friends among the Collective will soon become targets of the Chantry, and while I trust that this will not lead to lasting harm for those innocent, I wish to ensure that those targeted are fairly warned and evacuated before the Chantry can send its message. I ask that a noble soul take the bundle of vials attached to this missive and find the 4 homes the Chantry is likely to target in Denerim. Mark the front door of each home with the goat's blood from the vials. These relatives will understand the message and evacuate before the Chantry can threaten them. The Collective is saddened at the absence of the great mage Reynold. Our friend has not been seen in quite some time, and our gatherings are the lesser of the loss of his tales of ribald exploits and the aroma of his delicious twin-baked meat pies. Reynold was last seen traveling in the direction of the Brazilian forest. Oh, how he did so love the outdoors. Anyone who returns with evidence of the whereabouts of the beloved mage Reynold will be rewarded. In times such as these, one must suspect even his neighbor of the darkest dealings, lest they cast a shadow upon those who labor under the light. I, Jubasto, have heard tell of a cabal of Maleficarum performing rituals in the dark near my sanctum, and I certainly wish to see them brought to justice for their dark deeds. I hesitate, however, to accuse them of foul sorcery without a full understanding of the trappings, ritual, and appearances of the dark magic requires. The writings of the hated Maleficarum Banastor should be suitable. Should a courier be available to procure me copies of the Scrolls of Banastor, I would be appropriately grateful. I played this game maybe 2 or 3 times, and I've always missed one somewhere. I have no idea where the final one is. But yeah, I think it's like... find 5 skulls. I always end up only finding 4. So I've never been able to complete that. Because it's like, where's the last one? I have no idea. It's somewhere in Thedas. Okay.
You here to report another crime? I swear we should just cordon off the entire district. Oh, can I help you, Warden?
Is the Market District really that bad? No, wait, how do you know who I am?
Your likeness was passed around to the senior guardsman at the palace. I must say, the sketch didn't do you much justice. Don't worry, even if I believed the official story of what happened at Ostgar, I'm no fool. If I asked my men to apprehend you, they'd all run and cry big sobby tears in their courtesans' bosoms and leave me all alone to be skewered. Don't disturb the peace in the market, and that's well enough for me.
Deal. Is the Market District really that bad?
The lower market isn't deemed important by the captain of the guard, even less with Arl Howe in charge. So when I finally get the new men I request, I get the delightful surprise of discovering their Lord Such-and-Such's illegitimate, untrained, moronic whelps. But lords keep sending me more of them. It's decent pay, no expectations, a uniform. So I have a legion of bastards to protect the market from pickpockets, stabbings, and whatnot. And Arl Howe's specially picked men are the worst of the lot.
Tell me about the Arl's men, please.
With the bastards, I just have to worry about dicing, the odd bit of drool, or yelling at them too loudly and hurting their poor feelings, and then getting chewed out by their noble fathers. But I swear, the Arl's men are more criminal than the miscreants we occasionally arrest. Some of them are the criminals we have to arrest. So if your lifeblood isn't draining in the gutters as we speak, don't bother reporting it.
Do you need any help?
What? You're serious? I mean, yes, I could use help. I've got a pretty popular, establishment that's crawling with mercenaries. If I send my boys in, someone might get, Maker forbid, hurt, and I'll have to explain to their noble fathers that being a guard is actually dangerous.
What do you need me to do?
The name of the whorehouse is the Pearl. Beat down any mercenaries that are out of line and send them a message. I said beat down, not kill. Let me make that really clear. Not on fire, or exploded, or make a nose, whatever type of grisly death you can dream up. Sorry. Used to giving orders to my boys. Just leave them breathing and I'll be happy.
Okay, sign me up.
Thank you, Warden. Happy hunting.
Sergeant Kylon has asked you to clear out any rowdy mercenaries you find in the Pearl Brothel, down by the docks district. Okay.
Think again.
Nope.
Be careful with that package, you lazy slut. It's worth more than you'll make in 10 years.
Whoa! Language, miss. Let's see what's this. Let's see what's in this emporium.
Welcome, friends. Welcome to Wade's Emporium. We have the finest armors in Denerim, maybe in all of Ferelden. How may we assist you?
Tell me about Wade.
You're obviously not from around here. Wade is possibly the most brilliant armorsmith in all of Ferelden.
That's not true, Herin. The dwarves of Orzammar make the finest armors around. These piles of rust droppings you force me to make are worthless compared to their work. You never let me have the time, the materials to make something special.
Customers expect their armor in a timely fashion, not years late like the last time.
That happened once, just once, and you never let it drop.
Who's in charge here?
I am.
Wade owns the Emporium, but without expert assistance and, well, prodding, let's just say the Emporium has improved substantially with our partnership.
But I do miss the good old days. I could really take my time to make quality.
Oh, by all means, you can return to them. And to the gruel you used to fancy.
No. Sorry, Herin.
Let's see what you have for sale.
Certainly.
Of course, it's all armor. This could be better for Liliana. Of course, I only have 2 gold, 12 silver. Morgan, you need gloves. We'll give you some leather ones. There you go. Hi, Wade.
Herin, the bloody customers are bothering me again. What do I pay you for, anyhow?
Sorry. Wade is a genius. Truly, you will be astonished by his work. But he doesn't deal with customers. If you need anything, please ask me.
And tell him I don't want anyone looking over my shoulders either. I'm thinking, blast it all.
Truly sorry, sire.
Sorry.
It is over.
Ooh, a love letter. What do we have here? A collection of embarrassing personal communications between the spoiled wealthy and their objects of obsession. To one's paramour, when last we embraced, one noticed the redolence of another's company, but one was unmindful. His most eminent Sir Further Hapsmith Oswald III. Huh. Okay.
So I take it you did not enjoy your Templar training?
That's directed at me, I take it.
Do you see any others about who have failed at their religious instruction?
I didn't fail, I was recruited into the Grey Wardens.
And if you had not been recruited, what would have happened instead?
I would have turned into a drooling lunatic, slaughtered the Grand Cleric, and run through the streets of Denerim in my small clothes, I guess.
Your self-awareness does you credit.
I thought you'd like that.
Moving on.
Good day. The market is busy, is it not? Come, rest here. I have the finest selection of flowers and Orlesian-scented oils in all of Denerim. For a lady friend, perhaps? Roses can open any woman's heart, you know.
Where are you from?
I am from Orlais. You've heard of us, no? Your Denerim is a fine city, but I miss my Varroyo. She's quite beautiful this time of year.
Why did you leave?
Orlais has many good things, but it is sometimes not so good to be common. My brother had trouble with a chevalier and we departed shortly after.
What sort of trouble?
A chevalier took an interest in me. It was his right, but it was unwelcome. Incensed, my brother hit him over the head with a pot. Such a thing is almost treason. We left that very night and came here.
But what your brother did is right.
Perhaps in your lands, but not in my kingdom. Many revere the chevaliers for their skill, honor, and deeds. But others tread lightly. As lightly as the mouse in the cat's den. If you will excuse me, I feel a touch lightheaded. It is a pleasure to see you again. Have my flowers enticed you? Or perhaps you tire of the smells of the city and would buy my Orlesian oils?
What's there to see in the market?
Much of the city is still a mystery to me, but the markets is like my home. Circle and sorcelled objects can be found in the wonders of Thedas, in the alleyway north. The armorer, Wade, and his emporium are just to the south. If you need work, outside the rectory to the southeast is a chanter's board. And if your thirst is strong, head to the Nord Noble Tavern north of here. Be prepared, though. They do put on many airs. It is a pleasure. Or perhaps you tire of the smells of the city and would
Can I have something more practical?
Oil? And smelling good is not. Ferelden is no longer full of barbarians. People judge with their noses as well as their ears and eyes. But you look more armed than most of my patrons. Perhaps you seek the armorsmith, Wade. Then to the south? He is quite the artiste, yes.
I have to go now. I wanted to buy some scented oils.
What is it? I have work to do.
Never mind.
All right.
Impossible. Think again.
Darn.
No, I cannot.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar. You won't find better.
Oh,
I recognize you. From Ostagar. Andraste's blood. You're a Grey Warden. Duncan's apprentice. You killed my friend. And good King Kalen. I demand satisfaction, sir.
Wait, what? Logan's charges against the Wardens are false.
So you would compound slander on top of treason? You dare smear Terran Logain's word?
The Wardens would never help the Darkspawn.
The savior of Ferelden, Terran Logain, personally told me of the Warden's betrayal. Your betrayal. An uncommon traitor deserves no common death. We will meet on the field of honor, and my blade shall see justice done. Meet me in the back alley behind the Nod Noble Tavern. There we will duel.
I won't fight a misled fool.
But honor demands you accept.
Your honor, not mine.
You turn your back on me? This is not over, Warden.
If you have coin, welcome to our shop. If not, move along. Too many refugees blocking customers.
Have anything for sale?
Oh, yes.
Never mind.
Another visitor in my store. Enjoy browsing my wares.
What sort of goods do you have?
My cousin and I have trade connections all along the seaways. We have furniture, silks, carvings, and much more. Caesar handles the trade stock. I handle other affairs.
What affairs are those?
Business deals, meetings. Caesar makes it so I am free of the day-to-day concerns of our store.
You aren't from Ferelden, are you?
No, I am not. I am a trader at heart. My home is the road. But I was born past the waking sea in Antiva. It has been many, many years since I have seen her. But the road is a better mistress than my home city ever was.
What do you mean?
On the docks of Rialto, life is cheap. As cheap as the dockside ale and the soiled whores. You can live a longer life out here. And a wise man can make a comfortable fortune in time.
With the Blade, Ferelden isn't exactly safe either.
Straightforward, predictable danger is refreshing to me. Any moment in Rialto, the streets can run red, and often do. I'd take Darkspawn any day. At least you can see them coming.
Do you need any help?
No. Not yet. Perhaps one day.
What stories do you have of Antiva?
It has been many, many years since I have seen her. But the road is a better mistress than my home city ever was.
Okay then, farewell.
Luck be to you, Warden.
You're back. You need something?
Know anything special about Denerim?
Better trade cities to the north, but plenty good trade here. Now with war and blight, business is bad.
Bye-bye. The Noladar Anthology of Dwarven Poetry. The undead exhumed, born from the shallowest graves, mined from the living. Do you like fried mush and nug? I do not like them, Mr. Klug. I do not like fried mush and nug. Would you eat them on a rug? If you eat, you'll get a hug. I would not eat them on a rug. From you, I would not want a hug. Then would you drink them from a jug? Come on, give them a chug. I would not drink them from a jug. I'd rather eat a slimy slug. Would you eat them with a bug? Would you share them with a thug? I would not share them with a thug. I would not eat them with a bug. Not for a hug, not for on a rug. From a jug, I will not chug. Come on now, Mr. Klug. Are you on some kind of drug? Eat them in this hole I dug. Eat them, don't just shrug. I've had it, Mr. Klug. Down into the hole you dug. Down with the thug and the slug and the bug. By the Paragon Seuss. Never surrender. Dwarfish blood may be lukewarm, but vital as ore. There once was a miner of lyrium, whose face looked like a perennium. The dead got him too, not much he could do. With a face like that, he was a shoo-in. Huh. Who knew Seuss was was a dwarven paragon?
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar. You won't find better.
Okay.
Welcome, welcome. We sell only the strongest dwarven steel, folded over 100 times in the forges of Orzammar. In times like this, surely your group could use some extra protection on the road.
Show me what you have.
Every piece comes with a stamp of assurance from my wife's father, the best smith in Denerim.
Cool. It's better than what Alistair has. Better than Liliana. Buy that. So the question is, who gets it? Point 9. 0.9. Oh, you guys have about the same. I'm gonna give it to Liliana. Okay. Let's work our way over. Genetivi's home.
A wonder.
What? Hello?
Yes? What are you doing here?
I'm sorry, I must be in the wrong house.
Ah, I see. Then I'm sure you will be on your way presently.
Out of curiosity, who are you?
My name is Waylon. I'm the assistant of the scholar Brother Genetivi. This is his house.
Who is Brother Genetivi?
He's an eminent scholar and researcher who serves the Great Chantry. When you first came in, I was hoping that you had news of Brother Genetivi. Wishful thinking, it seems.
What news are you waiting for?
I haven't seen Brother Genetivi in weeks. He sent no word. It's so unlike him. Genetivi was on the trail of the Urn of Sacred Ashes. I fear he has gotten too close to the truth.
Do you think he's in trouble because of the urn?
Perhaps the urn has been lost for a reason. I pray for Genetivi's safety, but hope dwindles with each passing day. I tried to send help, but some knights came from Redcliffe looking for him not long ago. I sent them after Genetivi, and they too have disappeared.
Where did you send them?
Now don't ask me where they went. You'll go after them. And what if ill luck should befall you too? This search is a curse on all of us. Some things are not meant to be found. I know that now.
But the discovery of the urn would bring hope to so many.
So be it. All he said before he left was that he would be staying at an inn near Lake Callenhard, investigating something in that area.
What exactly was he investigating?
I don't know. All I discovered from going through his research was that he was staying at the inn.
But you just said he spoke to you and told you that.
Yes, of course he told me, but I also went through his things to see if I could find other clues to his whereabouts.
And I suppose you found no other clues?
No, I didn't. Everything pointed to the same place. You're wasting time. If you insist on going after Brother Genetivi, you should leave as soon as possible.
You said I shouldn't go looking for Genetivi or the urn.
I mean, well, you seemed so earnest. If anyone is to find him, they should do it sooner rather than later.
Or do you just not like me asking all these questions?
I'm just his assistant. I just follow instructions.
Something seems to be troubling you. Are you all right?
Yes, of course. Thank you for your concern. It's been a very difficult time for me, and sometimes I don't know what to think or feel. I want Genetivi to be rescued, but I don't want more people to be hurt. You understand, don't you?
Then I shall find him for you.
Good luck. May you find the answers you seek.
As it is the duty of all true sons of the Chantry to make the chant heard from every corner of the world, I made it my mission to find as many corners of the world as possible. The Maker can hardly expect us to do one without the other. Except from In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genetivi. Brother Genetivi is one of the Chantry's most well-known scholars, primarily on the basis of the stories he has published, which many of his contemporaries dismiss as fanciful, to his travels across the length and breadth of Thedas. His travels and rather too curious nature led him to a study of folklore, which gave him the notion that he could track down the most debated of all artifacts, the Urn of Sacred Ashes. He announced that he had found what appeared to be the trail of the urn, left in the legends of the regions through which it had passed from Manrathus on its way into hiding.
What are you doing? You're not supposed to go in there.
Why not?
I'm sorry, but that room is not for guests. It's full of books and papers, and I'd rather they were not disturbed.
Genetivi's research into the urn? I'd like to see it.
I said no. Genetivi was a very private person.
I'm afraid I have to insist.
No, don't touch that door!
More enemies ahead. We must fight. Let us do it quickly.
Sorry, Waylon.
Make a preserver.
Sure thing.
Brother Genetivi, the scholar who was trying to track down Andraste's final resting place, has gone missing. His assistant Waylon told you that he set off to find a lead on the urn. However, on further questioning, the man who called himself Waylon became defensive and attacked you. He is now dead. The History of the Chantry, Chapter 3. We don't have Chapter 2, though. So what's behind this door? Chantry Hierarchy. The Divine is the titular head of the Chantry, although since the schism split the Imperial Chantry into its own faction, there are now in fact two Divines at any one time. One Divine, informally called the White Divine, is a woman housed in the Grand Cathedral in Val Royeaux. The other, known as the Black Divine, is a man housed in the Argent Spire in Manrathus. Neither Divine recognizes the existence of the other, and the informal names are considered sacrilegious. No matter the gender, a Divine is addressed as Most Holy or Your Perfection. Beneath the Rican Divine is the Grand Cleric. Each Grand Cleric presides over numerous chantries and represents the highest religious authority for their region. They travel to Val Royeaux when the College of Clerics convenes, but otherwise remain where they are assigned. All Grand Clerics are addressed as Your Grace. Beneath the Grand Cleric is the Mother, or in the Imperial Chantry, the Father. If a mother is in charge of a particular chantry, revered is appended to her title. These are the Accidentally pressed a button. If a mother is in charge of a particular chantry, revered is appended to her title. These are the priests responsible for administering to the spiritual well-being of their flock. A mother, or revered mother, is addressed as Your Reverence. Brothers and sisters from the rank and file of the chantry form the rank and file of the chantry and consist of three main groups: affirmed, initiates, and clerics. Affirmed are the lay brethren of the chantry, these regular folk who have turned to the chantry for succor. Often they are people who have led a difficult or irreligious life and have chosen to go into seclusion, or even orphans and similar unfortunates who were raised into the chantry life. The affirmed take care of the chantry and are in turn afforded a life of quiet contemplation, no questions asked. Only those folk who take vows become initiates. These are men and women in training, whether in academic knowledge or the martial skills of a warrior. All initiates receive an academic education, although only those who seek to become Templars learn how to fight in addition. Clerics are the true academics of the chantry, these men and women who have dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge. They are often found in chantry archives, sages presiding over libraries of books and arcane knowledge. The most senior of these clerics, placed in charge of such archives, are given the title Elder, although such a rank is still beneath that of Mother. All other brothers and sisters are addressed simply by noticing their title before their name, such as Brother Genitivi. This holy symbol is crafted from polished steel and has a severe look to it. Amid ramblings about local legends and ancient trade routes, one passage stands out. The village of Haven in the Frostbacks seems a good place to start. Pity it's not on any maps. Brother Genitivi's research suggests that the village of Haven in the mountains to the west might have some clues as to the location of the urn. Brother Genitivi must have gone to Haven to continue his search. The body of the real Waylon. Here, Liliana. Have a symbol of Andraste.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anything over here? It's a book. Dragon cults. Let us suggest for the moment that a high dragon is simply an animal, a cunning animal to be sure, but in possession of no true self-awareness or sentience. There has not, after all, been a single recorded case of a dragon attempting to communicate or performing any act that cannot likewise be attributed to a clever beast. How, then, does one explain the existence of so-called dragon cults throughout history? One dragon cult might be explainable, especially in light of the reverence of the old gods in the ancient Tevinter Imperium. In the wake of the First Blight, many desperate Imperial citizens turned to the worship of real dragons to replace the old gods who had failed them. A dragon, after all, was a god figure that they could see. It was there, as real as the archdemon itself, and, as evidence makes clear, did offer a degree of protection to its cultists. Other dragon cults could be explained in light of the first. Some cult members might have survived and spread the word. The worship of the old gods was as widespread as the Imperium itself. Certainly such secrets could have made their way into many hands. But there have been reports of dragon cults even in places where the Imperium never touched, among folks who have never heard of the old gods, or had any reason to. How does one explain them? Members of a dragon cult live in the same lair as a high dragon, nurturing and protecting its defenseless young. In exchange, the high dragon seemed to permit these cultists to kill a small number of those young in order to feast on draconic blood. That blood is said to have a number of strange long-term effects, including bestowing greater strength and endurance, as well as an increased desire to kill. It may breed insanity as well. Navarran dragon hunters have said these cultists are incredibly powerful opponents. The changes in the cultists are a form of blood magic, surely, but how did the symbiotic relationship between the cult and the high dragon form in the first place? How did the cultists know to drink the dragon's blood? How did the high dragon convince them to care for its young, or know that they would? Is there more to draconic intelligence than we have heretofore guessed at? No member of a dragon cult has ever been taken alive, and what accounts exist from the days of the Navaran hunters record only mad rants and impossible tales of godhood. With dragons only recently reappearing and still incredibly rare, we may never know the truth, but the question remains. From Flame and Scale by Brother Florian, Chantry Scholar 928 Dragon. Something to ponder. Okay, back to the Market District. Guess that's all this video is going to be. Just one district of Denerim. Do 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 do. What's over here? The Nod Noble Tavern. I think I have to go here for something. Ferelden has existed as a nation since the fabled King Khan had the Silver Knight fought the Alamari like 400 years ago.
All the news is troubling these days. When will the war end?
Navarra. The fourth time I attempted to cross the border into Navarre from Orlais and was turned back by chevaliers, I decided to take the more roundabout path. A ship back to Ferelden, and then another to Navarra. The outcome was more than worth the trouble. The whole country is filled with artistry, from the statues of heroes that litter the streets and even the meanest villages in the glittering golden College of Magi in Cumberland. Perhaps nowhere is more astonishing than the vast necropolis outside Navarra city. Unlike most other followers of Andraste, the Navarrans do not burn their dead. Instead, they carefully preserve the bodies and seal them in elaborate tombs. Some of the wealthiest Navarrans begin construction of their own tombs while quite young, and these become incredible palaces, complete with gardens, bathhouses, and ballrooms, utterly silent, kept only for the dead. Huh. Hello. Have you heard any rumors?
With King Cailan dead, the throne falls to Queen Honora. She's made her father the regent, however, at least for now. I think Cailan's father, old King Merrick, would have approved. Anything else you need?
Heard any other rumors?
There's knights from Redcliffe spread all over Ferelden on some kind of mission, but I hear that they're starting to become rare to find. Maybe they all went back to Redcliffe. More likely they got tired of searching for something that can't be found and abandoned their search. I wonder what Earl Eamon is gonna do without any knights. Anything else you need?
Let me see what you have.
Right, I'll show you around.
Ooh, I have like no money. Need any help? Maybe with something not strictly legal? R has a small request. It's always useful to have a big name in your pocket, and there's nothing better than snagging them with their knickers down. If in travels wide, someone were to come across notes between illicit lovers, I have certain specialists who can make the most of the text. Delivered to the bartender, and an investment toward future manipulation will be handsomely paid. D requires swift action. I have trouble. A few of my more excitable young associates got a little nervous during a couple of delicate handovers. Suffice to say, a little mess needs attention. Life is normally cheap, but if word of this gets out, there will be consequences. My men are under close watch, so I would be most grateful for someone willing to take care of this. Coin is assured. K requests the following. The troubles of the new blood seem to find me. I'm ruffled some feathers with my alternative tactics, and certain people have had me blacklisted by my primary suppliers. So I put this out there to those enterprising friends who want an ally and perhaps a little coin. 15 toxic extract samples will be more than enough to ensure I can continue building support. Simple, isn't it?
Next, drink to battle and victory!
I'm a Crimson Ore. Which way you looking, or we'll rip your damned eyes out and piss in your skull! Another round for me men!
Pigs, all of them.
As I live and breathe, you're the Grey Warden everyone's been talking about.
Is there something I can do for you?
I represent the Blackstone Irregulars. We're a mercenary company that fell on hard times after the war with Orlais. I'm sure you know that times are getting worse every day. With your help, the Irregulars could be of use to Ferelden once more.
How can I be of service?
Our leaders thought you might be willing to help. Each of our posts in Ferelden will contain letters addressed to you. Unlike most who work with us, you're getting letters straight from Raelnor and Tauran, our leaders. I hope this tells you how highly the Irregulars regard the Grey Wardens.
I'll take a look.
Thank you. When you've completed a mission, just return to me or any of our members stationed at an Irregulars post. We'll make sure your efforts are rewarded. Maker's blessings light your path.
A letter written in careful script addressed to you. To the inimitable Grey Warden. Your deeds have spread since the tragedy of Ostagar, and I find myself in need of one such as you. I am Raelnor, captain of the venerable Blackstone Irregulars, and I hope to win your trust. The Irregulars have come on hard times since the war with Orlais, but I fought to improve their reputation. Gone are the days of my father's shady deals with unscrupulous nobles in Denerim. No, I have trained a guild filled with honorable men ready to fight for Ferelden, and I am proud to say that I have seen your own Grey Wardens as a sort of model. We are not perfect. My own son advocates a move back to the more lucrative way my father ran the guild, but we are steadfast. It is in this context that I ask for your help, and I promise we will reward you accordingly. Should you be willing, please find letters in this box and others like it all over the land, and carry out the requests therein. For this matter, consider requests from my son as if they came from myself. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Whether you choose... And thank you again from the bottom of my heart, whether you choose to assist us or not. You are doing the Maker's work, Warden, and I am honored to work with you. Delivered notes to widows. Stocking. Four letters of condolence, 20 health poultices, find deserters, deliver conscription, love letters, toxic extract. Okay, we've been going for over an hour, so I'm going to save it here. Next time, we'll continue on to other Denerim districts. Till then, if you liked this video, let me know in the comments. If you really liked it, press that cute little like button. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Luke Dog, and I'll see you next time.